Hey everyone, so it's Leanne Barrable here, the Devonshire Shepherdess, on what is a nice sunny spring day. So I've had these kind of thoughts to do a video on food security for a little while, and today it keeps coming up in my head to do, so here we are. So I wanted to talk to you about food security when it comes to us as farmers. So for most of you probably will know that food security is our ability to feed our country, really. So this is the UK that I'm talking about, obviously, and how we have, everything to be able to supply the needs to the people of the UK. And as a farmer, we're producing here, so we produce mainly beef and lamb, and we're looking into potentially producing some other things, vegetables, maybe flowers and things like that too. But primarily we've been beef and lamb for generations. And the way I see it currently is for a long time we've kind of been, pushed to the side, made to feel like we're always wrong, made to feel like we're failing, made to feel like what is the actual point, particularly when things come out on social media and the TV about certain individual farms that may or may not have high animal welfare. And that isn't the case for all of us. And I think now more than ever, we are only 60% self-sufficient in this country. And after World War II, Winston Churchill declared that we needed to be at least 80% sufficient. And bearing in mind, it's 70 odd years ago now. So we've grown, the population has grown a lot since then. So we've got more people and we're still only 60% efficient. And that is quite a thing when you think that we're a small island and we're relying on the imports of other countries. Now, put in the whole Brexit thing and this situation we now have with the war between Russia and the Ukraine. And we're potentially going into quite an interesting time when it comes to food security. And I think where we haven't been discussed a lot in Parliament, so I don't think farming, actual food production is discussed a lot in Parliament. It's been more about greening. It's been more about the environment and, those things, which are all essential. Like, don't get me wrong. I can see the huge benefits in farming with the environment instead of against the environment, which is what we've been doing. So encouraging birds and bees and all those kind of things. I completely see it, but there hasn't been any conversations regarding food, actually producing food. And I remember when it was the election, the last one where Boris got in, and I remember reading the manifestos of both the Conservatives and Labour, and not one piece of it was about food security. Was there like a food strategy? Nothing. And on Wednesday, they had a debate about a food, situations that we're facing in this country. So things like obesity, childhood obesity, those kind of things, being unhealthy and being ill. When we think at the state of our NHS and how many people are receiving medication every day, having to go to hospital every day because they have health issues, which potentially could be coming from the lack of good quality food, because that's our thing, isn't it? How much fresh food are the majority of the population eating? So I know I will have fresh food every single day for at least one of my meals is fresh, but how many other people in the country are actually having fresh food? You know, we're in this place now where people are relying on food banks. Well, there's no fresh food in a food bank. So there we have a population then that will start believing that they can't cook, or that they are unable to afford fresh quality produce because it's too expensive, when actually it should be the other way around. The packaged stuff should be really expensive, and the fresh stuff that we're supplying on farms should be, you know, at a sensible cost. But the issue we have as farmers is that we don't have any control over that. And we don't have any control over what the produce is, you know, we're selling it at. We have no control over if our expenses go up, which is what has just happened. We've got nowhere to put those expenses. So we're essentially paying for people's food within this country. A lot of farmers are. Now, I've been looking at different debates, you know, regarding the generational farmers and how there's people want to come into farming and they can't get old farmers off, and, you know, these kind of things. And that's why the government's offering to pay to get rid of us, essentially. And then that makes me feel really sad as well, because so here I am, I'm in my early 30s, I'm a 5th generation farmer, and I literally question everything that I've ever known about farming, and will continue to question it and make it my life's work to make it work, because this country will always need food. There will always be people in this country that needs food. And if they are just my local community, then so be it, you know. And if they are really wanting good quality food, because I can guarantee if we improve the quality of our food in this, you know, in this country, and by doing that, we as farmers, if we improve the quality of our soil, we'll improve the quality of our food. We won't need to eat so much. You know, 100 odd years ago, a bowl of salad would have had everything in it that you needed for a few days. We have to eat the equivalent to 10 bowls of the same salad to get the nutrition that we need from it. So it's no wonder we've got this place of thinking, we need more food. No, we don't. We don't need more food. We need better quality food. And that's us included. That's us farming here. That is my main aim, is to improve the soil so that the plants are better, and we have, I've just squinted throughout that entire video. So the plants are better, so we have better quality meat. And everyone should be entitled to good quality food. There shouldn't be this whole thing. And I haven't quite worked it out yet how we can even do this. How we can make sure that our local, you know, people get good quality food, no matter what their kind of work status is or their payment status or whatever. But there has to be a way. There has to be a way that we can make it all work for us and for others, you know, because as someone pointed out to me the other day, she loves steak, but she lives in a high-rise flat, so she can't keep a bullock out on her patio, but she still wants to enjoy steak. So the people are out there, and I really feel at the moment that food is probably one of the only things we can actually control in this country, because we can choose to grow it. We can choose to grow good quality food. We can learn new ways of doing it. And boy, oh boy, I've learnt some huge new ways of farming in the last 10 years. And it's been challenging, and it will continue to be challenging. But there has to be a way. There has to be a way that we as farmers can produce good quality food for people to eat, to have better health, because our health is so poor, you know. And for me, I will just say, just for me, like in terms of obesity, because I waver on the scale of being clinically obese according to a BMI chart, and I have a good diet. You know, I have fresh food in my diet. But for me personally, it's more the stress that I have in my life that causes me to be overweight. It's that fear that we might starve, that we're seeing all the time on farms, you know, like, oh dear, it's evolutionary where a woman particularly carries more weight because it is that idea of, oh, if there's a famine or if there's bad weather. Well, we've had that. And we live through that. Like every year for the last 4 years, we've had a drought on our farm, and we've gotten through it and been able to feed our cattle, but we've still had a drought. And that's partly because our soils don't hold the amount of water that we need them to hold. So that's a management kind of thing. But you can't change everything overnight. It's a several years process. I would love to say that I know the answer to regenerating the whole farm, 200 acres, in like 12 months, but I'm not entirely sure I do yet. So if I've said anything that is interested you, or you have any questions, then please DM me or send me a comment under the video. Please share this video if you think it's relevant, because I really do. I think we're in an interesting time, and everyone has the entitlement to food, and good quality food, but it has to work for everybody and everything. Thanks for listening.